Welcome back to Dirty 20. Today we're looking at the D&D Essentials Kit. Okay, so I've been looking forward to this Essentials Kit for quite a while now, actually. It has some interesting things, but it's essentially a starters box, a starter box 2.0. And you'll see that they've kind of revamped the basic rules a little bit, and they've put in some really nice little extras, which make it really worthwhile. So, first impressions, I mean, I like the artwork on the box. It evokes adventure. You've got the ice dragon and a kind of snowy vista with two adventurers. Which is significant because they have rules in here, so I've heard, for two-player adventures, which is quite unusual. Usually you need a biggish party. But yeah, as usual, the presentation is really nice. The artwork looks good. Overall, first impressions are excellent. Okay, so let's dig in and see what we've got. Okay, so first things first, you've got nice set of dice, not incredibly exciting, but it does have two d20s, which is nice for rolling advantage and disadvantage, as you do in 5th edition. And you also have 4d6, which is the number of dice you tend to roll with character creation. And that's one of the differences, actually, between the starter set and the Essentials Kit, is that the starter set comes with pre-made characters, but in the Essentials Kit, you have character creation, which is really nice. So then you have Dragon of Icespire Peak, which is the adventure that they've written. Now then, the adventure that they released with the starter box was actually one of the best ones that they had released, The Mines of Phandelver. And this is a sort of continuation. You're in the same area. So if you started using The Mines of Phandelver, you can then pick up with your characters or create some new characters, and you'll be familiar with the surroundings. So that's quite nice. Okay. Then you have a little deck box, essentially. The deck box is very useful because, as we're going to see in a minute, you have some cool cards in here, which is nice. We have initiative trackers. Now, I'm a little bit unsure about these. Everyone has different ways of tracking initiative. This is another one. I haven't tried it, but you know, now having the cards, I might give it a go. So that's nice. Now, these are super cool. These are condition cards. So one of the it happens all the time. A monster has a special ability and it creates a certain effect. And then everyone's asking, oh, so what does that mean? How does it affect my character? Well, here you have the names: restrained, prone, poisoned, all the different ones, and what the impact is on your character. So that's really cool. I'm excited for those. I think they're wonderful for new players. Some more of those kind of condition cards. Including frightened, grappled, which has varied from edition to edition. So it's nice to kind of have them. They have cool artwork on them as well, which I really like. And yes, these are sidekicks. So these cards are essentially NPCs with a little bit of background, and then also personality, traits, ideals, bonds, and flaws. So it gives you something to kind of flesh out these sidekick characters, which, as I mentioned before, the interesting thing about the Essentials kit is that you can play with 2 players. So if you've got a buddy and you want to try it out, you can, try out the adventure, and rather than being overwhelmed or having to change the adventure very much, you can just give them a sidekick, and that makes things a lot easier for everyone involved. So that is awesome. Now, magic item cards, we've seen these by third-party producers like Gale Force 9 do some nice cards for spells and magic items. But again, it's really cool to be able to hand one of these to your player, and they have it there for reference and for future adventures. So lots of cards, lots of magic items, good stuff all around, I would say. Our lovely producer has pointed out that there are quest cards as well, which again is really helpful for new players. Sometimes there's a lot of information that you get given as a player, and it's nice to have something to reference back to say, what are we supposed to do? What was our goal here? So those quest cards are also pretty darn tootin' cool. And now we're looking at some of the kind of extra stuff. Maps. I'm a sucker for maps. Anything has some cool artwork with some maps, handouts, stuff like that. I am all over it. And here you can see Sword Coast, Forgotten Realms, all the good things that we come to expect from the published materials. And again, beautiful artwork. They commission very cool artists. You also get a rule book. Now, it's basic rules, which I know you could just go online and download them. Personally, I like to have a book that you can kind of reference and flick through and read on the train or what have you. And again, nice artwork, great production value all round. These are a little bit revamped from the stuff that comes in the starter set, just because, FAQs and stuff like that. But it's nice that it's in there. Another wonderful extra is the Dungeon Master screen. So here you have a DM screen, which, some people love them, some people hate them. Most people adapt them to their own style. But it is nice to have, and you didn't used to have one in the starter kit. And it seems like such a kind of necessary element for the game to have a DM screen. So really nice little touch, added value, worth the money, in my opinion. Then we have character sheets, blank character sheets that you can fill in. Once again, this is the kind of thing that you can download from Wizards of the Coast for free. They give them out, but it's just nice to have them. You don't have to go searching for anything. Everything's in here in the box. So, things that I really liked. I think the cards are fantastic. Quest cards, magic item cards, anything that you can hand to a player and say, yeah, hold on to that. That's yours for the time being, is cool. And I'm intrigued by the sidekick rules. I would like to try them out. I like the idea. I've used stuff not too dissimilar to this in adventures in the past. And it's nice, it's fun to have another character. But you have to be a little bit dangerous that they don't become a DMPC, which is a big no-no. Yeah, I mean, I'm really jazzed for this. I think the adventure sounds really cool, and the cards are awesome. Just little added value, you know, which is what you want whenever you shell out for something like this. So you have Dragon of Icespire Peak, which is the adventure. They call it an adventure, but you know, in a previous episode we discussed long-term campaigns, and I think this is a really great starting point for a long-term campaign. Something to get you started if you don't have that much experience and you don't really want to be creating, you know, a whole world. Forgotten Realms, a cool adventure with maps and all those kinds of bits. Really, really cool. Okay, so that is our video on the Essentials Kit. It's available to buy now, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. Let me know what you think, what you would have done differently with the box, any elements that you think would be cool to try out, and we'll catch you at the next one. Keep slaying.